Hey everybody,
Hey!
it's the fall special
Yes, it is.
live Q&A. We made it through Hurricane Milton.
Thank God.
That
What
was
a
really,
stressful
that was a
time.
very, very stressful week.
And people are still dealing with all
Still
kinds of
dealing, a
stuff.
lot of people in our area still dealing with getting their houses in order,
Flooding.
with
We
flooding
didn't
and
have
wind
power for a
damage.
few days. Thank you guys for reaching out.
Yes,
those that
so
did.
many of you.
And yeah,
They were so caring, so thoughtful.
yeah.
And it just was really heartwarming to have that support.
Well, I know, and one of the things that a lot of people asked was, did your cars make it?
Yes, my babies are all good. Oscar's good. We're good. Just, we had about 4 days of no power. And really, it's one of those things that if you've never experienced a hurricane, the scariest part of it is that it's such a slow moving thing. Even though this storm was moving faster than some storms in the past, it's like you have it mapped out that it's coming at you,
like watching something,
and you don't know, is it going to be a category 3? Is it going to be a category 4? Is it going to be a category? You just don't know.
No, you have no idea.
And it really, when they said category 5 earlier in the week, that
really
did freak me out. I have to admit.
Yeah.
But it's so great to see so many people here. We got Chris. I know a lot of times he's hard working. The evening shift is great to have Chris here.
Awesome.
Dan, David, Ron,
and a lot of people are asking if Oscar will make an appearance.
Oscar will be
having his evening treat.
Yes.
And he will be making his way over
Yes,
here
he will.
Momentarily.
I'm sure Oscar will be making his grand entrance, but it's so great to have all of you here. We're already over 142 people, and we're not even 2 minutes
That's awesome.
into this.
That's a good way to start.
And if you were here for the last live Q&A, we lost power. So
in the middle of the Q&A.
The great news is I already checked the radar.
No rain.
There's no storms, no reason, knock on wood, why the power will go out.
Yeah, I mean, it could.
It could.
But it probably won't.
But I'm hoping it should not happen. Jacob is here.
Yes.
As usual, he is
holding down the fort.
Part of the Raiti's Rides family. I mean, it was so cool to have Jacob come out to the 1 million subscriber celebration. And the great news is that we're going to be doing a celebration sometime next year with Walker Ford.
Right, but this year you've got something else lined up.
Oh, we have something big. If you are going to happen to be in Florida, or maybe if you're not, you may want to drive out or fly out, or maybe ride a boat, train.
Yeah, the Amtrak goes from Chicago.
It does. It does.
No.
December 6th through the 8th. It's a Friday through Sunday. We're going to be in Auburndale, technically Lakeland, but it's known as Auburndale. It's a racetrack there, Circuit, Florida, and it's going to be this event that's called Wrenchworks. It's being put on by another awesome YouTuber that focuses on cars. His name is Tavarish. He does a lot of great things with taking cars that have been destroyed and fixing them up and bringing them back to life.
A lot of builders.
A lot of builders are going to be there. Mike Brewer from Wheeler Dealers is going to be there.
Once you found out that Mike Brewer was going to be there,
that's awesome.
Like fanboying.
I have been a fan of Wheeler Dealers for so long.
He's got it on all the time.
I got
Meekum and Wheeler Dealers on all the time.
And I got to meet Ed China at SEMA back in 2019. He was the original mechanic on Wheeler Dealers, and they've had Ann Anstead, and they had now most recent a guy named Elvis, but Mike Brewer has been the mainstay of that show. He's going to be there. Ben Collins, the Stig, is going to be there. So many great channels and just outlets, not here in the United States, but also Shmee.
Yeah, Shmee
150 is going to be there. A lot of people coming over from Europe, from England.
Yep.
And what's going to be awesome is it's not just a meet and greet where you'll be able to meet yours truly in person. You'll be able to meet all of them, but there's going to be a mega car show, a mega sized car show. They're going to have some special exotics on display, including my personal dream car, a Ferrari F40. And they're also going to have events going on the racetrack. It's a brand new track in Lakeland. I'm going to be doing hopefully a track day there or two as we move closer to the new year.
And so just kind of thinking if folks were thinking about coming down for a Raity's Ride celebration, but maybe couldn't like justify the cost. It's like you're going to be able
you're
to
getting a little bit of everything.
A lot of people. There's going to be a huge car show. And it's in December in Florida, which is nice. It's not hurricane season.
Yeah, it's outside of hurricane season. Hurricane season, believe it or not, goes until like
to think about.
November 5th. So definitely something to think about. But we're also going to be going to SEMA.
Yeah. Well, SEMA. And then Chris Gello wants to know, hey, Raiti, are you excited for the Detroit Auto Show in January?
I actually am excited for the Detroit Auto Show. I always felt like they should not have moved it. It was over 100 years in January.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden in 2020, the worst time to do it, they moved it to the summertime, and then it never actually happened. And then in 2021, they did they did a summer special one where they had it at M1 Concourse. And then there, of course, is Oscar.
Oscar's making
his not his debut, because he's already his grand entrance.
His grand entrance, yes. He just finished his treat.
Yes, he's a happy boy. But if you have, of course, any specific questions or comments, use the super chat feature. We're going to try to go through as many as we can. Obviously, if you super chat, that's going to guarantee you we're going to answer your question. But Jimmy is here. Hey, Jimmy fam. And then, of course, we have already a question from True2244. He says, what are our daily drivers? My daily driver when I'm not using a press fleet vehicle, if I don't have a press fleet vehicle, is going to be my FL5 Civic Type R.
Right.
And yours is
the Bronco.
Yeah. We call her Big Bertha. It's a 2-door wild track.
I love it.
Eruption green. Yeah, you love that.
I get lots of thumbs up from the F-150
It's really, really cool.
And the Brodozers here in Florida. Everybody's like,
Yes, definitely. So you know, we those are our technically our daily drivers, but we have now 182 people watching. Jack Smith is here. He says, howdy, Joe and Lori. Howdy there.
Hi, Jack.
Speaking of howdy.
Howdy.
We just got back a couple weeks ago from Texas.
Yep.
We decided, since there was no Detroit Auto Show this year, because the auto show went from January to September, and now it's going back to January, we had to choose something to bring some nice content to you guys.
Get some different stuff.
Yeah, some different stuff. We decided to go to the Texas State Fair. People for months, for years, have been telling us to go to the Texas State Fair because they have a big section of the event that's an auto show, and it wound up being huge. We couldn't even
a lot of content.
Get everything we wanted.
No, we couldn't get it all done.
So we've already posted that content. We're going to be going back again next year
really
for sure.
Great. If you haven't been, you may want to think
awesome
about it.
Event. But we got a couple of super chats. Axel Wayland.
Yep. Hello again. My favorite car channel, Survive Milton here in
Wesley Chapel.
Hit hard. Picked up a 2002 Camaro base recently.
Wow.
Good shape. Hope to see you in December.
Awesome, Axel. Well, that'll be great to see you at Rentworks. And you know, if those of you are wondering, Wesley Chapel is not far from where we live in Clearwater. It's about 45 minutes north of where Clearwater is. 2002, I know Axel knows this, but for those also that are not in the know, 2002 was the last year of that generation, the fourth generation of the Camaro. Because they killed it off, and then they didn't bring it back until 2010. And now here we are again. Camaro is killed off. But Axel, thank you so much for your super chat, and I'll definitely see you in December. We got Chris. Chris, if you have Chris, thank you for that generous super chat. That's really nice of you. I see he picked a balloon, the number one. Jacob, if Chris has a specific question, Chris S., let us know if you can.
Throw it in the comments.
Yes, but thank you, Chris. We really appreciate your support. Emily, of course, is here from Canada.
Yes.
She's put in parentheses Batwoman.
Yes.
I wonder if she's being Batwoman for Halloween.
I hope so.
Halloween's right around the corner.
Really disappointed
but thank you, Emily, for that super chat. And also, Jacob, if Emily has a specific question, let us know.
Yeah.
Jacob is the moderator. Try not to spam us. He's going to try to keep that to a minimum because we're almost 200 people right now watching. Bree, also from Canada, says, I got a 2024 Crown Platinum, best tire and rim size. So the Crown Platinum, I believe, if I remember correctly, comes with a 21-inch wheel.
I believe so.
I think it looks fantastic with 21-inch wheels.
I agree.
The challenge is living in Canada. I'm sure you're going to be driving it in the snow. You might want to downsize to maybe a 19-inch or an 18-inch wheel and tire with your snow tires.
Yeah, that's
and
really
then
smart.
Swap the 21-inch tires and wheels for the summertime. That's my recommendation.
That's
but great, congrats on your Crown Platinum.
I really like the Crown.
It's a lot.
Every time I see it.
And remember, in Miami Auto Show, we saw that that special nightshade.
That looked good. If you haven't seen that one, you might really like.
Definitely watch that review. Mark G is here. Thank you for your super chat, Mark. How in the heck can Jaguar go all electric when the U.S. will be putting the brakes on EV production beginning January 20th, 2025? Mark, that's a great question. And the thing that still blows my mind about Jaguar is, remember, for 2025, they're actually not going to produce any new models. They're already producing 2025 model year vehicles, but for the time period of 2025, they're not going to produce any 2026 vehicles.
Okay.
They're actually going to take a year off. So it's going to be interesting.
So they can sort of like rebrand.
They're going to rebrand themselves. They're going to come out with a whole new lineup of cars. No more F-Pace, no more F-Type, no more E-Pace, none of it. It's all going to be new names, new vehicles.
I feel like it's either going to be a great idea or the worst idea ever. It's not going to be somewhere in the middle.
I know.
It's just going to be one of the extremes.
But thank you, Mark, for the super chat and great question. And you're so right about the EV production. Emily, once again, has a super chat, and I see that Jacob has pulled out her question.
Yes, Joe, what's your opinion on the Lamborghini Temerario, Aston Martin Vanquish new, and the McLaren W1?
I think out of those three, I'm really excited for the McLaren WT. I'm a big McLaren fan when it comes to their, what we now call basically hypercars. I mean, back in 1996, I fell in love with the McLaren F1. I still love the McLaren F1, naturally aspirated BMW V12. This new one takes it to the next level. And if you don't know, McLaren now makes many different vehicles, right? But you have the F1, the P1, and now this next iteration, which is the WT. So definitely, that's my favorite. I'm also looking forward to the new Aston Martin Vanquish, but I'm also looking forward to the new Aston Martin Valkyrie. And then, of course, you can't go wrong with a Lamborghini. So very good question.
I mean, all three seem like they're pretty amazing vehicles.
They are.
And then Nick,
thank you for the super chat.
Del Noor.
Good. I think you got close.
He says, I'm not an EV guy, but curious about if there's a huge difference between EV motor quality like Tesla versus Porsche, for example.
That's a very good question. From what I could tell you is that Lucid right now uses the best electric motors. And the reason why is that they actually don't make their own electric motors.
Okay.
They have a contract with Bosch. Bosch, I'm sure a lot of you know through different equipment in your house.
Like the fridge and the kitchen.
Fridges,
like dishwasher,
spark plugs, all sorts of stuff. Bosch right now has the best electric motors, and it's costing Lucid a lot of money to have a contract with them. Supposedly, once the contract winds down, they're going to start to get a different supplier for electric motors. But really, Bosch is number one when it comes to electric motors. So there you go.
Really interesting. And that was a great question.
Great question, Nick. And then Emily has another super chat.
Yeah, down here she wrote, Joe and Laura, your opinion on the Bugatti.
The new Bugatti, I think is going to be one of those ones that's going to set the bar. I still haven't had the opportunity to get behind a Chiron or a Veyron.
We've just seen them.
Me personally, for the money, I would go with a different car.
Yeah.
Personally. Yeah. But hey, everybody.
I mean, but I guess if you just have mills.
You probably need bills. Billions. Yes, billions.
Yeah. Ron Gertiza has a super chat.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Joe, Lori, and Oscar. Every Porsche 911 review you do compared to other sports car reviews, you're so overly happy. So when are you getting one? Even the Carrera T is good enough.
Ron, I'm actually debating it. Those are things that we've been talking about, is potentially getting a Porsche. I guess the one thing to do is obviously stay tuned. You guys will know if it happens and when it happens. So, But I do love Porsche.
Yes, that's true.
This is very true.
Dial 911. Isn't that what you always
Yes,
say?
dial 911.
And then Bree from Canada has another question. The car came with 21s, winter tires, no rims. Not sure how they'd handle in the snow, but I'm also not sure how the 19s would be.
Yeah.
19s would be better?
19s would be better because you could go with a fatter sidewall of a tire. Those 21s.
Which is going to be grippier.
Yeah. Those 21s are going to be horrible in the snow.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That is true.
And you're going to need snow tires. A lot of people don't understand that just because you have a car with all-wheel drive doesn't mean, like, I can't take my WRX STI Type RA and just drive it in the snow and have all this grip because it's on summer tires.
Even though it has all-wheel
drive, you got to have the winter tires. And it's surprising because you could take a car like a GR86 and put winter tires on them, and it actually grips really well.
Even though it's rear-wheel drive.
Yes.
Huh.
Because the technology in the tires is so amazing.
You do always talk about how
tires are very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Tires can really make it.
And then we have Emily with another super chat. Thank you, Emily, for your kindness and your generosity. And thank you, Bree, as well.
I think Jacob's right.
Yeah.
And that before you add any other comments, we're going to have to get a bigger
We need a bigger garage, yes.
I don't know how you're going to figure that one out. I'll let you worry about
guess that's a good one, yeah. Because I would say, I'll just not sleep in the bedroom, but you sleep in the bedroom.
I do.
So.
I'm not sleeping in the garage.
Yeah.
So
well, the garage has the cars. You'd have to sleep on the couch.
That's true.
Both of us.
No.
Yeah, no. That's pushing it to a limit.
Jacob has a good point.
My problem is that I fall in love with my cars, and it's very hard to get rid of one.
I know, and everybody tries to pinpoint you into being a Ford
guy,
or a Chevy guy or a Subaru guy, and what they don't know is you like all of them.
I love them all.
Yeah.
I do love them all. I have to admit.
Yeah,
they're all great. But Chris has a funny comment. Joe must have an underground garage collection like Tony Stark. That would be pretty wild.
He would love that. He would definitely love
MP,
that.
yes, you are correct. Who needs a house when you could have a 911, and you can't race a house? So
that is true. But I really would like a nice kitchen.
Yes, I know. We are working on that. Yes. I wish it was so painless to just put a new kitchen in and not
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Can somebody come up with that?
Oh,
a plug and play kitchen?
Yeah, where you could just blink and then the kitchen.
Yes.
But
thank you guys for your super chat so far. We crested over 200 people so far. Rowdy Tomcat says that new naturally aspirated Porsche you just did is phenomenal. You are so right. I mean, 9,000 RPM. And is
that what you dream about at night?
That's what I hear when I'm at night, when I'm sleeping at night.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that is what you hear.
This is very true.
So Evan wants to know if you've driven the Murano yet.
Murano, we have not driven yet. We have literally seen it for the first time just last week. The drive is coming up in December.
Yep.
And since we're talking about drive, set your clock, set your watch, set your Twinkie, whatever you got to do. Set it.
Set the Twinkie?
Yes.
Okay.
7 a.m. Eastern, I have the first drive of the GR Corolla automatic. So it's the first time that there's an 8-speed automatic in the GR Corolla, new for 2025. This will be the first official drive.
Tomorrow morning.
Is it better than having a manual? Tune in. That's all I can say.
Inquiring minds want to know.
But Benji is here. Benji, you're too nice, man. You're very generous. We appreciate you. What does he say?
How are my two favorite YouTube stars? I just wanted to swing in and say hi and love y'all. And I was so thankful to hear that y'all were safe from Milton and your automotive babies.
Yes.
I'll be here for a bit, but it's but by 3 a.m. Central. Oh gosh, you got to get up at 3 a.m.
Ouch.
That does come early.
Yes.
Thank you, Benji.
Thank you, Benji, for your generosity.
Very, very sweet.
And it's good to see you doing well. Benji was there from the beginning. We didn't even have 1,000 subscribers.
No,
we didn't have 1,000 subscribers.
Benji's been a fan since before we had fans, which is really fantastic.
And a very good friend.
Yeah, very good friend.
Yes.
Midnight GTR, which is pretty cool because it reminds me of Midnight New Wave.
Yes.
Thank you for the 2024 R35 GTR refresh video. I watched it a few times, went on throttle myself in mine. Best car ever. Appreciate the videos and the GTR recommendations.
Yes, the GTR. It's sad that they're killing it off. I'm afraid of what they're going to bring next.
That was a special day for Joe.
That was a special day.
I must say.
We were one of the few to be able to drive that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we definitely want to thank our friends over at Nissan for making that happen.
that was very, very special.
Yes.
You want to come up here? You got to answer the next one.
Oh, okay. Emily is back again. Thank you, Emily, for being so kind. And I know up in Canada, it's probably going to be getting very cold soon.
It probably already is a little cold.
It probably already
we
is
had
chilly.
A little bit of fall weather.
Yeah, we had like 75. We were like, yes.
It was so nice.
I know. Benji's back. Benji, will you stop? You're so freaking generous.
Yes.
If y'all need a place to store your cars, I know a guy in Central Tennessee.
I'm sure. You would be the first person we would call, Benji. Absolutely. And then there's another super chat. Axel Weiland.
Yes.
Love that hat, Joe, but it's no longer on the merch site. Is it not? I'll have to check.
We'll have to check that out.
Yes,
the hat is
thank you. It should still be there.
I
will check.
We will check,
I haven't checked the merch site in a little while because we've been updated these and we've been so busy, but I will check.
We will check the merch store, and thank you for checking out the merch store. And if you didn't know, if people didn't know, we have a Spreadshirt merch store.
And this is one of the shirts?
Different shirts, hats, all sorts of stuff.
I think there's even there used to be like, I don't know if they have dog merchandise yet.
They did, I think.
I'll have to check.
I'll have to check
all that stuff. So thank you. And then Jacob has the link
that he just posted in the chat.
And therefore, I Am 5 is getting his Raity's Rides underwear.
There we go. Yes.
That's on back order.
Yes.
Yeah. So rush out. And
Perfect for the bulge, the muscle car bulge.
Oh my God. This show is going sideways quick.
Craig says Mazda CX-70 or CX-90. Personally, I would go CX-70.
Okay.
I don't need a third row. I don't want a third row. And it's nice to have the extra room. Craig, if you have a bunch of people you need to haul around, then you might need the CX-90. But I like the CX-70.
I really like the CX-70.
They
differentiated some of the styling,
I think. They did.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were hoping for something a lot different, but
look at Oscar. He's like,
I know he's like,
and he's holding himself up like a little human.
He's very cute. He is a little human.
I know. It's so
we got a question from Subhan Gaming.
Okay.
He says Mercedes GLS 500 or Cadillac Escalade. I'm gonna have to go Escalade.
Yeah.
Escalade all day.
Yeah. Good question.
What else we got?
What do you think of the new BMW M5? Alvin wants to know, are you going to review it?
Alvin, we will be reviewing it within the next couple months. I just think it's too heavy. I think that it's got tons of performance, but I just think it's a freaking heavy car. And I don't know how that's going to handle because, if I want to go fast in a straight line, I'll take the Demon 170 for a drive.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a really good point. And then Bruno wants to know, would you go 21 RS7 or 2014 R8 V10? I'm sure you probably thought about that.
I personally would probably do the V10 R8. I mean, that's such a special car. It once again comes down to, Bruno, do you need to drive it on a regular basis? Because it only has one extra seat. So with an RS7, you got more room.
Chris has a really good idea for us.
What's that?
Hustle.
I could just imagine
a car air freshener with a Twinkie scent.
Why
haven't we thought of that?
I wonder if we would get sued or a cease and desist.
We could just say it was a sandwich.
No, not a sandwich. A
yellow cake.
Yellow cake, cream filled
yellow cake.
Yes, scent. There you go. And we'll call it "Get Your Cream On."
Oh my God, no!
Yes,
that's terrible.
They won't sue us then.
That's terrible. Great idea, Chris.
David P says, "How would you spec your Porsche 911?" It would have to be pretty much like that one I reviewed.
Yeah.
I love GT Silver.
What are your favorite colors? The
GT Silver. I like Guards Red. I'm really a classic 911 color kind of guy.
Yeah. Isn't silver the classic color?
It is. It's the color of when back in the Grand Prix days and early racing days that if you were from Germany, your car was silver.
I really like chalk. I think that's a beautiful color.
Chalk is a very beautiful color. Mm-hmm. But it would definitely need to be a GT3. And I kind of like the Touring because I love the clean classic shape.
But you're a wing guy. You like the wings.
I know. I guess I'll have to get one of each. I'll have to get one of each.
Okay, good. Yes, that would make everybody happy.
Neil is asking, Joe, how's the GT350? I actually just took it for a nice long drive last Saturday. The weather was beautiful. And I actually was thinking to myself, I need to do an update review. So expect an update review. We're going to be going on throttle together. Neil, myself, and the rest of everybody up at 8,250 RPM.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure
Yes.
what RPM we were going to
8,250 RPM.
Time.
Well, no, because then I'd probably blow the motor, but yeah, don't want to do that.
Okay.
Chris, thank you for your super chat. Chris S. Earlier super chat and this one, a big thank you for responding to my questions as I built my 911 for Euro delivery. Just got back from Stuttgart, picking up my Cabriolet S manual, of course. Chris,
what a cool trip.
It's my pleasure to help you through that process. And that does sound like an amazing trip, and it's an amazing car.
That sounds
and a manual.
Yeah, that sounds like
great job, Chris. And then Mikkel. Thank you, Mikkel, for your generosity. Hello there. Any plans for the ZR1? Love you. ZL1. I got ZR1 on my mind after seeing that top speed, 233 miles per hour.
What car don't you have on your
Mikkel, you know, the car is fast enough, handles well enough. The only thing I might do is put a Corsa exhaust on it. I got a buddy that lives locally that I've met a few times over at Sarasota Cars and Coffee that's got a Corsa exhaust, and his sounds pretty nasty. So that might be something down the road to take a look at. David, thank you for your generosity.
Yes, thank you, David.
We really appreciate you. David is one of those people, like many of you, that they're in the comments every single day, and it just really warms my heart to be able to interact with not only you, David, but everybody else.
Really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Emily's here again. Thank you, Emily. We can't do this without you.
Mateo Elaine from Canada. If David or Mateo or Emily, if you want to just throw your question into the comments,
yes,
Jacob will grab it, and then we can.
Yes.
If you have it,
and thank you for the generous super chat.
Yes,
Mateo Alan.
Yes, and then Sophia Hem has a super chat. She appreciates the video.
Oh, that's really wonderful.
Which is really sweet.
You know, this is the thing that I love is doing these Q&As and also meeting many of you in person. If you ever happen to see me in an airport or at a car dealership or at a car show or an auto show event, please do not hesitate to come up and say hello. The least I can do is say thank you, for your support. You're not bothering us. And I would be more than happy to say hello, take a picture. I know you really enjoy
it to talk to.
Well, because it's very humbling, and I love talking cars. I mean, that's the bottom line.
That's true.
We just on our last trip to Texas, we had a gentleman come up to us in Sky Club, and we got to sit and talk cars.
Well, and there was on one of our flights, there was a gentleman across the aisle.
What about the flight attendant?
The flight attendant, who bought his last three cars.
It's ours, yeah. We got 225 people.
That's awesome.
Jacobs has dug up.
Emily has a question.
Emily says,
"What's your opinion on the redesigned Bentley Continental GT?"
I'm actually liking it. I'm liking the look. It's consistent with what Bentley does, but it's fresh. And I've always been a bigger Bentley fan than I am a Rolls-Royce fan, believe it or not. I feel like that's I appreciate their performance.
Yeah.
Rolls-Royce is a little bit too plush for me.
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
I mean, the pricing on the cars are just golly.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, somebody asked earlier, I forgot their name. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What is your favorite car of all time?
Ferrari F40. And if you're wondering about the new Ferrari F80, I'm not a huge fan.
Tell us more.
The reason why is, first of all, there's something about the nose on it where it's got the black. I don't know if you've seen the latest Halo hypercar from Ferrari. This falls in the lineage. It all started with the Ferrari 288 GTO.
Okay.
Then my personal all-time favorite, the Ferrari F40.
Right.
Then the F50. Then the Enzo. Then the LaFerrari.
Right.
This now follows that lineage, and it's got a naturally aspirated V6.
Well, I know you're a little
with 3 electric motors, which has over 1,100 horsepower. So there's no denying the horsepower.
Right.
But I just heard a video the other day of the sound. It doesn't sound good.
What does it sound like? Just weird?
A wet fart.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. A wet fart.
I know you're disappointed with some of the design.
Some of the design on it is just, I like the inside. The inside looks great. And like I said, it's got over 1,000 horsepower. That's I guess, great.
Very interesting.
I would take an F, and the fact that it costs like $3.7 million, like that's just,
yeah, that's outrageous.
I'll take an F40 any day of this millennium.
Therefore, I Am 5 has a super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Therefore, I Am 5.
Joe, when are you going to go hold of the 24 Tacoma TRD Pro?
You know, that's supposed to be hitting my garage. Well, not my garage because I have no room in the garage, but not, and it won't be mine.
In the driveway.
In the driveway. Thank you. In the driveway. That should be here by December. Sometimes because we live in Florida, it takes the vehicles a little bit longer to make it into the Miami press fleet compared to Detroit, and compared to California, based off of where the media, because the way it works is that once a media event has happened, then they disperse those media drive vehicles to different locations. And that's why sometimes, I know people are curious, they'll see a car that I already reviewed, that color, that trim, because what happens is if I film it during the media drive, there's a chance they could send it to me
the exact
same color, the same car, and if they do that, I still have to cover it. I can't just say no, take it back. That's not how it works. So I do my best.
So
to go in depth a little different.
Yeah, just change it up.
Yeah, just change it up.
Video. Plus, there's always something new you can learn.
Of course.
But you think in December you probably?
I think December. Yeah.
And then Mateo Elaine, thank you so much, Mateo. Hi from New Brunswick, Canada. Glad to see you guys safe from Milton. Really appreciate that. Always look forward to watching all your new videos every day, especially the Porsche ones for the Saturdays. Yes.
Well, thank you for the well wishes, and trust me, it's my pleasure. I wouldn't be doing it. I just wouldn't be doing this if you guys couldn't ride shotgun with me and go on throttle. And I try my hardest. You know, whenever any of you tell me, and a lot of you do, especially when you meet me in person, they tell us that I feel like I'm right there with you.
Well, yeah, because you're the same person.
And
this is who you are.
I know. If you think you're going to get somebody different when you meet me in person, you're not. I'm just as excited. I want to know about your car. I
on the other hand usually try to run and hide.
Yes.
Which it's cute. Somebody said that they finally had a chance to meet me. Air Canada TV. So thank you so much for saying hello, because I do usually try to run and hide.
Yes.
I'm a little introverted. And he's laughing because I'm a lot introverted.
Yes.
But yeah, this is you. I mean, this is who you are all the time. And usually people hear the voice and they're like, I hear him. Joe Raiti.
They hear my big mouth.
And then we have another super chat here from Atlas. Joe, your reviews have been super helpful. And Saturday, I'm going to get my first car.
Nice.
I always look forward to your videos every day. Congrats on your first car, Atlas.
That's awesome, Atlas. Congrats. And you know what? It's my pleasure. It's one of those things that I just love sharing my passion for cars. And yes, some cars are harder to review than others just because they're not maybe something that makes my heart pitter patter, but I know that out there it might make somebody's heart pitter patter, and that's why I think it's great to love all different cars. If we were all driving the same cars, it would suck. It would. It really would. You
would be a miserable person.
Yes.
If that was.
I know. Going on. I guess unless we're all driving Porsches.
That would be an interesting world.
Yes, that would be an interesting world.
Troy has a super chat. Joe, will you review the Lambo?
I actually just got contacted by the PR people for Lamborghini. So I'm hoping that by December or maybe January, we will have those vehicles. The good news is I have some new McLaren stuff coming within November and December.
Very exciting.
So stay tuned for that.
Very, very exciting.
Yes, definitely.
And then Benji has a super chat. Thanks, Benji. You're very sweet. Now stop doing that. I know it's a ways away, but August 15th to 16th of next year, the Bronco Stampede will be in Pigeon Forge. Will y'all be there? I'd love to see you.
That might actually be
try.
Yeah, that would be.
I actually hadn't heard that, so that sounds really cool.
Thank you for why don't you write that down?
Yes. Thank you, Benji.
Thank you, Benji.
We will let you know.
Yes. And then we have Jada Zanai.
Yeah, that sounds like it's pretty cool.
Thank you, Jada, for the super chat. My car is a 2023 Honda Accord LX. I named her Ace.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's awesome. And I know we love naming our cars. We got Big Bertha. Yeah. We got Shelby is real simple. We just call her Shelby.
Yeah. But what's funny is the Camaro is actually Wild Cherry Tin Coat, but we call her Ruby.
Yes.
Which is a little confusing.
Yes. That's a ruby color.
Yes, but it's not. It's actually Wild Cherry.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to call her Wild Cherry Tin Coat.
Well, that's.
Hey, Wild Cherry Tin Coat. How you doing?
Do you talk to your cars like that? Do you ask them how they're doing?
Sometimes I do.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
The
very
things you learn about the people you marry.
You've been with somebody for years and years, and you learn something new.
That's why I do that in private when you're not around.
This is very good. Thank you all
Thank you,
so
Jada.
much
Yes.
for your super chat.
We got almost 220 people here tonight.
They're probably here just to laugh at us.
I know, right?
Silly. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Orangey has a very generous super chat. My go-to for car reviews. You all are a great team. Thanks for the excellence. That's really
Thank
sweet.
you, Orangey. We really appreciate your generosity, and it's great to always have you here and to be able to, that's one thing that we've done since December 10th, 2022. What am I saying 2022?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. December 10th, 2017, we have been bringing at least one car review per day. A day. And
then when we have like auto shows,
then we do a couple.
Circumstances where we've got some extra footage.
Emily's got another super chat. It says, Joe, comment on the Ferrari 12 cylindry. I like it, but my heart is with, when it comes to Ferraris, I love the 458 Speciale.
Okay. Even
a regular 458, if you could call any Ferrari regular. I love the 488 and the 488 Pista. I love the F8 Tributo.
What do you love about these cars?
What I love about them is I feel like it has the essence to me of what Ferrari represents. Because growing up in the 80s, that's when you start to see the growth of the mid-engine Ferrari.
Right.
The first mid-engine Ferrari was the Ferrari 308.
Okay.
Some people would say no, it was a different Ferrari, but technically the first Ferrari
was the 308.
The mid-engine was the 308, and that was the Magnum PI. Remember Magnum PI?
Of course. Who doesn't
and
know that?
All the cars I just mentioned are mid-engine V8s. I like front-engine Ferraris. I don't love front-engine Ferraris. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It kind of harkens back a little bit to how you feel about the C8 Corvette in some ways.
Yes, I like the C8 Corvette. I don't love the C8 Corvette.
Right. Makes sense.
Yes. But thank you, Emily. Great questions.
And then Polly Mazda, thank you so much for the super chat, Polly Mazda. I'm a Mazda owner myself. Go figure, Polly Mazda.
Nice. Makes sense.
Do you feel Mazda's falling behind the other brands on interior tech besides the CX-90? No digital cluster, etc.
I think that right now they're working on things. And I think what you're going to find probably over the next 2 to 3 years is going to be this explosion of more tech. The tech that people want, because you got to remember, it takes, like, the car you see today started being planned 7 years ago.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah.
So what the technology was 7 years ago is not what the technology is today.
Yeah.
So, and they're not just going to automatically change it with all their models, just certain, like put a digital gauge cluster in. That is not very cost effective.
Yeah.
So you're going to start to see, for example, the CX-50 hybrid is coming.
Right.
That's one of Mazda's first hybrid vehicles. It's been
which we're going to be driving.
It's been a hot minute since they've done anything like this, but it just takes time. So expect to see more technology in Mazdas as we move forward.
I totally agree with you. That's a really great
Great super chat. Great question.
Somebody wants to see the dog. Here he is. This is Oscar. Somebody else asked what he is. We did a DNA test. He has like multiple breeds. The majority.
He's a Heinz 57 dog.
He is. He's Chihuahua, Rat Terrier, Pekingese, Chow Chow, some Bully, and some other stuff.
Very nice. Yeah. Queet, is that how we?
Yeah, I think
Queet from Canada. It's great to have so many people from Canada.
Isn't that interesting?
It's awesome.
I love it.
Bought my first car, which is a 2012 Honda Odyssey, fully loaded, amazing van. Also, what do you think of hydrogen versus EVs? Thank you both. Love you. Well, congrats on your first vehicle.
Yeah, very nice.
Honda Odyssey, very reliable car and definitely has tons of room. I like hydrogen. And the reason why I like hydrogen better than pure EV is because it's quicker to fill.
Is it?
Yes. You actually go up to a pump.
Oh, and you fill it?
You fill it, and it's much quicker
than
sitting on a charger.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I
We
hate
got to
that-
drive the Mirai.
We did drive the Mirai. I actually.
The challenge is, and it all comes down to infrastructure. There's not a lot of hydrogen stations.
Well, yeah.
And you would have to
Oscar's
create
very mad about that.
Yeah, you would have to create that infrastructure. So I feel like the ball's already rolling for EV. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Oscar does not like EVs. No. Oscar does not like hydrogen. Oscar loves riding in Grape Ape and the Demon. Oscar loves it when I go on throttle and just really let her rip. So no EVs. It's okay, Oscar. We're not getting an EV. I promise. I promise. But great question, and I hope I was able to answer it satisfactory.
Yeah, very good question.
Musa Mafu?
Musa Mafu, yeah.
Mafu?
From ZAR. I wonder where that is. Thank you so much for the comment. And if you have, Musa, if you'd like to put your comment in the just the regular comments, we will see if Jacob can find it.
Dan's got a good question. Will there be a Q&A for November and December? November, probably not, because of all the travel we have, and we're traveling for Thanksgiving.
The LA Auto Show.
There's a lot, and we're going to Lori's family's house for St. Louis. But we will be doing one in December.
Yeah.
It's a holiday special. Oscar's going to dress up as a reindeer.
Joe is working.
I'm going to be Santa. I'm going to grow a white beard.
You better get started.
So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Well, it is No Shave November.
That's
coming up.
That's true. Well, you better start growing that beard if you want to look like Santa Claus.
I just shaved yesterday.
Okay, Benji said.
Benji, I thought you had to get to work.
I know. He says, Mr. Sandman is calling my name. I got to be up in 7 hours. Next time you're in Tennessee, hopefully Freddy Krueger will let me see. Happy Halloween. Jeez,
we love Nightmare on Elm Street. Benji, you're awesome. Thanks for making us laugh.
Thank you so much, Benji.
And thanks for being here. Here's a little fun fact. The next time you guys are on Jeopardy, Wes Craven is the creator of Nightmare on Elm Street. If you ever wondered where the name Freddy Krueger came from,
I have wondered that.
Believe it or not, Freddy Krueger is a real person. Freddy Krueger was a school bully that bullied the hell out of Wes Craven, and to pay back, to give paybacks to Freddy Krueger, he chose that name for that terrible villain in Nightmare on Elm Street, to immortalize him as this disgusting, scary thing.
I wonder where Freddy Krueger is today.
I know, right?
Interesting.
That's a great way to throw back the shade on somebody.
Oh, yeah, holy cow.
But thank you, Benji. Nick is back.
Nick. Thank you so much, Nick, for the super chat. Since EV motors are so similar, how can luxury performance brands still sell at such a high price without the ICE motors? Are you just buying the brand at this point? I think that's a really
Nick,
good question.
that's a very good question. I think what you're finding is that you are going to be paying always. It doesn't matter what is powering a vehicle. You're going to be paying a little bit more for a brand name. I mean, that's just bottom line. But you got to remember, besides the electric motors, there's a lot of work that these luxury brands do to their suspension.
True.
And especially when you're looking at active suspension that's changing on the fly to give you that nice, pillowy, soft drive down the road. That's where you see the price point. And of course, the materials on the interior of the vehicle as well. The challenge that I'm still seeing, though, is that the extra money for many of these vehicles, whether they're luxury or not that are electric, the extra money you're paying for an EV, you're not going to see the savings for 10 years by not going to the gas pump, because you're paying X amount of dollars more than what a comparable ICE version of that vehicle is.
Right.
That's why I say to many who are looking for a new vehicle and you want to try to save some money and you want to have better efficiency, go with a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
Chris has a question and I'm going to answer it right away. Am I excited for the Goonies sequel? Not really. I feel like if they were going, I'm just being honest. A lot of these movies that they're creating today, what in the hell is going on here?
Raiti's rants, everybody.
Because I feel like they're trying to rob me of my childhood. If they were going to make a Goonies Part 2, and it wasn't just for the reason of making money. They would have made it soon after Goonies, the original.
That makes sense.
It kind of has lost the magic. And what are we going to have? A bunch of CG in it? Like, that's one of the things I love about watching Goonies to this day, is that the stuff is real. Like, it was a real freaky looking people in there. And now they're going to use CG. And you can watch any movie that has CG. So unfortunately, Chris, I don't mean to sound rude or whatever, but same thing with Transformers, man. I remember when Transformers came out, it was like a General Motors showcase. Yeah, an advertisement, because all the vehicles were General Motors or General Motors concept vehicles, and Bumblebee was a Camaro.
I mean, Bumblebee is not a Camaro.
And listen,
it's cool as a Camaro.
I'm a big Camaro fan,
obviously.
But Bumblebee was a Volkswagen Beetle, guys.
And that was another episode of Raity's Rants. Thank you very much for joining us on Raity's Rants. Tune in next.
Hold on a second. Wait, no, I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done yet. So we were at a media drive a few months ago.
Yes.
And somebody had the audacity. Another journalist had the audacity to say that the Maverick Top Gun movie, Top Gun Part 2, or whatever the hell you want to call it, is better than Top Gun.
Well, they're just...
Are you out of your effing mind?
They might be. They might be.
I mean, Maverick was cool.
It was good.
It was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But I'll never rewatch it as many times as I would rewatch Top Gun. That's the bottom line.
Val Kilmer was so good.
Val Kilmer was, I mean, that was one of his best roles.
It was one of his best roles.
So, all right.
So anyway.
Sticking a pin in that. I bet you Chris right now is regretting ever mentioning that. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I hold these things sacred to me that I grew up with, and that were just special moments in time. Going to the movies to see Top Gun was a special thing. Yeah, it was.
OG Queens, thank you for the super chat. Hey, I'm back after a long time. You should hear a V12 Murcielago at a beach in New Jersey last month. It sounds aggressive, but it makes me so happy to do a review on
LP.
Yep, as an icon in NYC is a cool spot for car spot.
Yes, I would love to do an LP 640, but I would be game to do a Murcielago, especially one with a manual transmission.
Oh yeah,
you could. The last few years of the Murcielago, you could get a manual transmission with it, gated 6-speed.
Yeah. Somebody actually, Johnny Allison wants to know if you reviewed a Polaris Slingshot.
I have not yet. And there's been a couple people here and there that have brought it up to me, but I don't know. I'm waiting for I got to find one to review.
There's a lot here. I don't think you really have to look that hard to get behind the wheel.
Tracy 30 is spot on. Happy Gilmore 2 looks like it's going to suck.
No, they're going to do a Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, where have you been?
I don't know.
Don't you see all the ads on Facebook?
I've kind of been like dealing with a couple hurricanes.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I don't know what you've been
You are right, Tracy. Adam Sandler, he's great.
No,
when he's the old, no Happy Gilmore 2.
That's terrible.
No Chubbs.
That show doesn't need a second film. That's awful. But Adam Sandler's probably bored. So, all right.
Yeah,
so
he wants to they just want to make some extra money before they just really call it quits. That's what I find.
I think you're right. We are caught up.
Somebody said the dad of 2, born in 75. You're speaking my truth.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Jose De Leon is from Puerto Rico. He wants to know when you're going to get behind the wheel of a Koenigsegg.
What's funny is I believe there's somebody here in Tampa that owns one. I might see them next month at a car show at Innisbrook. So maybe I'll ask them. Maybe I'll go up to him and ask him.
Jacob, his favorite movie is Happy Gilmore. Jacob -2.
Yes. That's a movie we could watch. Bride. Yeah. Princess Bride is great.
And I know a lot of the lines.
Yes, you do. She's very good. She's very good.
We'll have to do that when we see each other. Do the lines from that.
All right, let's see if we can go through some of these.
Oscar's coming over.
Ken says this is the editorial portion of the show.
It is, Ken. It is.
Goonies in space.
Oh, good God. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done Goonies in space.
Listen, it's the same thing with the damn Fast and Furious movies.
Fast and the Furious in space.
Oh, my. And how many different damn actors are they going to bring on the show? Who's next? Matthew McConaughey? Are they going to have the guy that was in Elvis, that played Elvis? Is he going to be like some thug in Fast and the Furious?
Let's see. Ose Mohan Smarties wants to know, when are you going to film the first drive of the Buick Enclave?
I actually have reached out.
I like this shot.
Yes. I actually have reached out to the people at Buick. I'm supposed to be getting one in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned.
Look at Oscar's
I know.
He's taking up the entire shot.
Are you surprised?
No, we call him Oscar Bighead.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
we have a good. Luke has a good question.
Okay, hey Joe,
Hi,
would you go
C7 Z51 Camaro
2SS or Lexus RC?
I would go C7 Z51. The reason why is it's the end. It's the end of the front engine Corvette, and the Z51 has the right amount of suspension and brakes. And I'm going to say it again. It's the end of the front engine Corvette.
Yeah.
I love a Camaro 2SS, and a Lexus RCF is awesome as well. But C7 Z51.
Chris Zenko loved your 911 GT3 video.
Awesome. It was great sharing it with you, Chris. Look at that generous super chat.
Oh my God. Dat one SVR. That's really, really nice.
Wow. That's really that. Thank you for that generosity.
So
that
kind.
one's SVR. Happy with my F-Pace SVR after watching you for years and all your Jag videos. Thank you, Lori and Joe. Thank you. And you got a keeper, especially with the way they're getting rid of the SVR. What's funny is I met somebody at the airport when we were flying home from Texas that literally said hello to me and said that they just got a Jaguar SVR from watching our reviews.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
That's
we're making that last push for Jaguar SVRs. We're getting them.
And Oseman wants to know, I mean, this is probably pretty easy question. GTR or GR86?
Well, those are...
Isn't that a money issue?
It's not only a money issue, it's on two totally different ends of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
GTR obviously is the better performer. I'm not necessarily, though, sure it's the more fun car to drive.
I would agree with that.
If you put me on the Dragon, which is that road 318 turns and 11 miles in between North Carolina and Tennessee,
right,
I would take the GR86 over a GTR any day, and I bet you I'll see you at the other end of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Because the GTR would be way too much car for the Dragon.
Absolutely.
Way too much car. But that's, I guess, if you got the money for a GTR, just go get yourself a GR86 as well. Hashtag Dream Car Garage.
Why not? I mean, it'd be nice to have them both.
Yeah, it would, because they're so unique.
Dan Mulroney wants to know, any news on the redesigned RAV4?
It's actually coming next year, guys, so stay tuned.
Oh, good.
That's all I know, and basically, even if I knew more, that's all I could say.
Okay.
Lost Boys 2.
Oh, no, you can't remake
There's no Corey Haim. There's no Corey Haim. Sorry.
How dare you?
How dare I? I'm just frustrated.
And Corey Feldman's too old.
Nissan Kicks or Hyundai Kona? I would go Nissan Kicks. You were actually impressed with the Nissan Kicks.
Yes, I actually have really impressed with the Kicks because we drove the Kicks.
Which I haven't. Recently. We haven't edited that video, but we have we did the front wheel drive version first,
right?
And now we have the all wheel drive version coming.
It's actually surprising. And
not bad. It's better than the previous
really
generation.
The spec that we did.
Yes.
Because the color that we did
blue,
was a nice sort of
wheels.
Blue. It really made it look perfect. It just looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here?
Oh, Braden says, hi, you're one of my favorite YouTubers.
Oh, that's nice, Braden.
Thanks, Braden.
And bring back the Viper. Nathan Cates is speaking your language.
Here's the thing, Nathan. This is the only thing I want to say. Are you sure you want them to bring it back? Because will it be anything like the original?
God. They'd probably bring it back as an EV, wouldn't they?
Or something stupid.
Yeah, or an SUV that they call.
God, if they bring it back as an SUV, I'm
sorry,
shutting down. I'm shutting down the channel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm shutting down the channel.
You're not shutting down the channel.
No, we're not going to let all these people down.
Yes. Oh, A. Campbell has a question. RX 500H or ES 300H?
I would go RX 500H. I actually like the way it drives. It's got plenty of zip and it's got plenty of room. To be honest, I would wait for the redesign of the ES before you go buy an ES.
Do you think that's going to be anytime soon?
It might be next year.
Oh, not bad.
We'll see.
Great.
4-door Viper? Hell no.
Ugh.
No.
That's not a Viper.
No 4-door Camaro. No 4-door Corvette. No 4-door Mustang. If Ford wants to do a 4-door sedan, and if Chevy wants to do another 4-door sedan, they got names. You ever heard of a Ford Galaxy? That sounds cool.
That's true.
That's 4 doors.
That's very true.
Bring back the Chevy Impala. Cool name. Make a Chevy Impala SS. Let's not just add doors and call it the same freaking name as
I think we should do a
car.
spin-off YouTube channel called Raiti's Rants.
A lot of people have wanted that.
I think that's a great idea. Viper wagon. I don't know.
Viper wagon. No.
I might be here for the Viper wagon. No.
And to be honest with you, let's be honest here, everybody. Cadillac Bob Lutz, who was the CEO for Chevrolet a few years ago, he pushed to have the CTSV wagon. Everybody and their mother was like, Cadillac's got to make a wagon. Cadillac's got... It didn't sell that great. It didn't sell that great.
No, they don't. People here in the States don't really like wagons that much.
White's Garage is thanking me for the C4 ZR1. I love C4 ZR1s. One of my favorite cars of all time. If I could have one in my garage, I would have one of those. And I would also have a C4 Grand Sport. 1996 Corvette Grand Sport. You know which one that is.
I do. And I'm loving the way Brandon is thinking about this. Like the Raiti's Rants. And you could be like, to the live chat, and then you just start
ranting.
Oh,
I got
like
plenty.
The New York. Like,
I got plenty.
I think it's such a great idea.
What else we got? Civic Si or new Elantra N as a daily with a Camaro SS, 2 Hot Wheels
edition of
my toy. I would say. That's a tough one because I like the transmission better in the SI, but the Elantra N has more power and more room and more oomph. I would say go with the Elantra N.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, go with it. It's got fun pops and bangs and all that.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, sounds good.
Juan Dominguez, I love an Audi wagon. The RS6 Avant I love it.
Ken's voting for the SI. I mean, I could see. Could you be swayed to convince somebody to do an SI as a daily?
Of course. Yeah. Why not? It's a great car.
So I don't think you can go wrong either way.
It's tough. Yeah. Bruno wants to know, how's the Supra? Supra's doing good. I actually have a video coming soon with some updates on my Mark IV Supra. So stay tuned for that. Great question.
And
Chris is checking out. Good night, Chris. I'm so glad you were able to make it, Chris, especially with some of the fun discussion that we had tonight. Best dad's sports car under 100 grand can be used, need 4 seats.
4 seats.
I would say BMW M3.
Okay.
BMW M3. Yeah, I think that's where I would spend my money.
I think you might be right on that.
I think because there's no more I wouldn't say a Charger.
And it's going to be under 100.
I mean, I guess you could buy a Charger if he's saying use a Hellcat Red Eye. That's always fun. But I think if you're going to go brand new, get a BMW M3.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
A. Efren,
thank you for the super chat. If you were to pick between an M2 manual and M4 manual without considering the price, which one and why?
I would go M2 manual. I feel like the M2 is what the M3 used to be before there was even an M4, when the M3 was available as a 2-door. It handles like a BMW should handle. And I like the overall balance of the car and the size of the car.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Back to the other question about the dad car under 100K with 4 seats.
Oh, Blackwing. Duh. Thank you. Who suggests that? Black Metal. Blackwing all day long. Manual transmission. Yeah, and guess what? Next week, we're going to be in Georgia driving the updated CT4V Blackwing, CT5V Blackwing, and the CT5V.
Now, would you get that over the TLX Type X?
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Don't insult me.
What about the Lexus?
Yes. RCF? Yes. A Blackwing?
Over the Lexus RCF Track Edition?
Well, that's a 2-door. Oh. It would only be...
He didn't say 4-door, did he?
Yeah, he did say 4-door.
Oh.
He needs 4 doors. Damn. I would go Cadillac Blackwing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
Blackwing's way to go. When will Mark wants to know when will the new 4Runner hit dealerships? Do you know?
That's gonna be a while, probably the end of next year.
So what do you suggest? His car just broke down. He needs a crossover SUV with off-road capabilities.
I would say
is the Land Cruiser.
That's too big. I said 4Runner. Oh, the new 4Runner. I think you said RAV4. I'm sorry. My bad, Mark. I would say 4Runners are probably going to show up spring of next year.
So, but he still needs something now.
I would say Land Cruiser.
Something with off-road capabilities, SUV.
I would say I would even be
Bronco.
Bronco or a Traverse Z71 is nice.
Oh yeah.
I like the Z71 Traverse.
Z71
or a Pathfinder Rock Creek edition.
The Traverse has really nice
Yes,
technology.
it does. And the interior, they did a good job.
So if you haven't seen the new Traverse, that would be worth checking out.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think we're caught up for the most part, and it happens to be 9 o'clock. The last one I would say would just be ZDX or Prologue.
Prologue. I like the Prologue.
I like the Prologue better too. It's really got good styling.
But I just want to thank all of you once again for being with us through thick and thin, wishing us well through the hurricanes, because remember there was Hurricane Helene a week before that, and all the people that super chatted, especially
including
Mikkel, his second super chat.
I just want to say that I appreciate your kindness and all the joy that you both have brought me over the last few years. I hope to meet you someday. We hope to meet you. We hope to meet you,
Mikkel. And if that is your Camaro in the thumbnail, I think that's a Camaro.
You're zooming in on your
neck.
I can't see. No one wants to
nobody wants to see my neck. I can't tell if that's a Camaro or a Charger. It's one or the other.
Well, he'll have to tell
us.
Yes,
Mikkel. It is. Hey, I got good eyes still. But thank you so much for the super chat, Mikkel, and thank all of you for not only being here but also being great with the questions. Jacob did a great job tonight, locking everything down. I don't think he had to fight too much spam.
No, I don't think so. Not as much as usual. So thank you guys for being so
great. Look, it says it right here. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream.
That's for Danny. Danny, thank you so much for the super
chat.
Thank
you, Danny. That's really nice of you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all of you, whether you super chat or not. You guys are great. Camaro 2, it says Hot Wheels. That's a great car. That's a really great car. I like that. I like your boo. That's
happy birthday to Esther. Twofold's been
asking. Happy birthday. Thank you all for everything. Stay tuned. Remember, 7 a.m. I know it's early. It's not my doing. It's Toyota's doing. The embargo lifts 7 a.m. Eastern time. First drive, GR Corolla automatic. I want you sitting in the car right next to me. Oscar. Yes, Oscar's going to be there. But we're going to do it. We'll do it, all of us together. We'll see you on the next ride. Bye, guys. Bye. We love you all.